Yeah, I was just coming home from church one day. I was stayed after during an additional service just to help out with the children's ministry. And on my way home, I was in a car wreck, and it was pretty significant. Someone just came out, ran through a stop sign, and plowed into me, and they drove off. So I just remember feeling totally out of sorts, trying to figure out what to do. And luckily, I was by myself. But one miracle on that day was that usually our second boy, Ben, stays after with me during that class that I help in, because I usually help teach his class. So every Sunday throughout that summer, he would stay after with me that second service and drive home with me, whereas Mark had taken the other children home earlier that day. But that morning, he woke up with a limp in his leg and was complaining about his leg and his hip hurting just out of the blue. We had no idea what was going on. I didn't even know if he was making it up, but he couldn't walk the whole morning, and I just thought, I don't think he needs to stay after today and be running around for a whole nother service. So Mark brought him home early that day with Claire and Drew, and it was Ben's side of the car that got plowed into, and that whole side of the car was crumpled in. And I actually didn't even realize it till I got home after the wreck, and Mark said, "Do you realize Ben should have been in that car?" And I just lost it. I just bawled and realized how God had totally prevented a huge situation.
So we prayed, and God clearly said, turn the car in. It's total, I'll provide a car. So when we did that, the great thing is that, this is so hilarious, the insurance company gave me $600 more for the car than I paid for it in cash 3 years before. So I was just kind of thinking, I guess I don't know, they paid us to have our car for 3 years. So that was great. Great deal, which you don't hear about on insurance. That was a confidence boost. But then we had 1 week with the rental car, so I said, okay, we gotta get on this and just make some decisions. And encourage us to ask God how much to spend on the car. So when we wait on the Lord, He gave Ann a range, spend between this and this. And He gave me a specific amount, and that was in her range. So we said, okay, well, if it's in the range, then we'll go for this amount. And that was also in my heart, it'd be great to buy it from a friend, so we don't have to worry about, did they take care of the car or not, are they lying or not. So on Sunday afternoon, I get a call from a friend. He said, hey, I heard that you are looking to buy a Honda Accord. I want to sell you mine. I thought, you have a truck. So he said his wife had one, which I didn't know. She had a Honda Accord. I said, great, okay. Tell me what's the situation. And he said, well, the deal is that this weekend, yesterday or the day before, a family member had given them a Yukon or some really nice car. And so they felt like I wanted them to use this Honda to bless somebody. So he said, okay, it's a 2007. It's like, okay, this is sounding higher than my price range. It's an EXL. Okay, that's the top model of Honda. So I think this is, going to be disappointing. And it has X amount of miles, whatever. I said, okay, I think that it's probably going to be on my price range. He said, well, it's worth this, but I want to sell it to you for this, which was the exact number that God told me the night before to spend. And it was $3,000 under market value. And I just didn't know what to do. I mean, it was all our desires, our prayers, and the exact same car that for some reason I felt really was important to me. So
it was great.
It was great. And we went and saw the car the next day and purchased it, that Thursday. And the funny thing for me was, as a missionary, I have to battle with these different financial things of, we're on support, so we have to live really low end. It's just this funny thing for me, but Ann had this great perspective. She said, sometimes we buy waffle cones for our kids at the ice cream store, but it's impractical and expensive, but we love them, so we do it. And she said, that's your waffle cone. And it was true.